After 3 quick wins and nomination as Britain's Young Boxer of the Year here, Enzo Maccarinelli meets Garry Delaney at cruiserweight to start us off tonight. And as our own Nicky Piper found out, this is a young man who has one vital commodity in abundance.
Think Enzo Maccarinelli, think power.
Very good, that hurt. And again, very good.
I've worked on my power, I've worked on my speed, I've worked on my accuracy. So I've always been confident in the power I had, and like I said earlier, if I see the opportunity to take someone out, I know I got full confidence that I can.
Incredibly, in 17 fights, Enzo's still never been beyond 4 rounds.
They don't need to bother with a count. He's done it again.
To be honest, if I go the rest of my career and I don't go past 4 rounds, you know what I mean, I won't be unhappy.
Johnny Nelson's been out on his own at cruiserweight for years, but the emergence of Maccarinelli, along with Mark Hobson and David Hay, should herald an exciting new era. But the experienced former heavyweight contender Garry Delaney has similar intentions, and the punch to back them up.
I think it'll be explosive, yeah. I can't see it going to 12, you know. But I'm expecting a tough fight, you know, and I'm expecting a good win.
But Enzo believes he's hitting harder than ever as he gears up for another short night's work.
I can see it being a very exciting fight, and I think the public are going to love it. But obviously I can only see one winner at the end, and that's me.
Well, Nicky Piper has recovered from that ordeal. Johnny Nelson, Britain's top cruiser and reigning WBO world champion, is also with us tonight. Adam Smith's going to have a word with both now. Adam.
Yeah, terrific atmosphere down here. 3rd defence of the WBU title for Enzo Maccarinelli, and how does that power rate?
Oh, the power was really, I can feel it on the pads. You know, some boxers are natural punches, and Enzo's one of those. He just goes straight through the target.
23 years of age, he's the whippersnapper in the cruiserweight division, surely after you at some point. But got Garry Delaney tonight, experienced and tough, isn't he?
I think that's what it all counts for Garry Delaney, to have a realistic chance of making a difference tonight. He had a hard time against Sebastian Rothman. He raised his game, he boxed Paul Bonson, close decision. Now he's got to really pull on his experience and really drag it all out for the fight tonight if he's going to make a good fight of it.
Maccarinelli never passed 4 rounds. Could his stamina be tested?
I think it could be tested. You know, the question marks tonight are over Maccarinelli. We know all about Delaney. He's tough, he's rugged, he's been there, you know, and he's a good fighter. It could be a good fight tonight.
Will it be a hat-trick of first-round wins, Paul?
Maccarinelli and Calzaghe in Cardiff. It means a fantastic atmosphere and a highly partisan crowd here tonight behind both men. For commentary tonight, Glenn McCrory and Ian Dark. Our master of ceremonies here, Michael Pass.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the first championship contest this evening. Would you please welcome to the ring the challenger from West Ham in East London, Garry Delaney.
Well, Garry Delaney is 10 years older than Enzo Maccarinelli and is the latest to have the unenviable job of facing the man who's fast getting a reputation as Britain's biggest puncher. Delaney's been out of the ring for 17 months.
That's the big problem. That's an awful long time to come into a challenge like that. On one hand, it might mean he's got a little bit of freshness, but really I think it's all down to the sort of work he's done in preparation for this fight. If he can take Maccarinelli into the fight in the later rounds, then it could get interesting.
I think this is the last chance for Garry Delaney tonight. He's had opportunities before at British Commonwealth, WBU level, and his best form really was about a decade ago when he was a Commonwealth champion. But he does have a bit of a dig on him. Who knows? He's obviously got himself into tip-top shape for this and fancies his chances a bit as well. But how much has he got left?
And now introducing the hard-hitting champion from Swansea, Enzo Maccarinelli.
Well, he's catching on fast. Enzo Maccarinelli, 23 years of age, and he has been a dramatic discovery with 11 wins inside 2 rounds in his career. He hits very, very hard indeed, And the last two opponents have lasted 70 seconds in one case, 90 seconds the next time.
Well, he's turned into a bit of a fight, and he's seen by the crowd's reaction to him. He's starting to excite, isn't he? And I think anybody that's got the sort of power that he has can do that. And he can go through the ranks and do really well. There's some good fights out there for him.
Sudden breakthrough in recent months for Maccarinelli, and voted the Young Boxer of the Year for 2003. Here's the tail of the tape for this fight tonight. 10 years younger, the Welshman at 23. He's a bit taller than Delaney and has quite a big reach advantage as well, both of them inside the 13 stone 8 pound weight limit, easily inside in fact. Now they've prepared pretty well. Delaney's been a pro now for 13 years, Maccarinelli since 1999. Delaney's getting quite long in the tooth, a lot of rounds there, 232. What he does have over Maccarinelli is experience and ring know-how.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening once more, and welcome to the National Ice Rink here in Cardiff, Wales. Tonight, Frank One Sports Network, www.frank1.tv, and Jeff White, the Premier Car Dealer, proudly present 12 3-minute rounds of boxing for the WBU's Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Welcome to viewers watching this broadcast live and exclusively on Sky Sports, and to listeners on Radio 5 Live. The officials have been appointed by the World Boxing Union and the British Boxing Board of Control. President and Commissioner for the World Boxing Union at ringside, Mr. John Robinson from Nordelf in Norfolk. British Boxing Board of Control stood in charge, Brian Rennie. Doctors Chapman, Davies, Crenman and Naismith. Timekeeper at the bell, Mr. David Walters from Monmouth. The three judges at ringside are Jean-Louis Legland from France, Carl Rogers and Reg Thompson, both from England. Finally, when the action commences, the referee in charge this evening, star referee taking part in his 94th world title, Dave Paris from Edmonton in North London. We introduce now the challenger, boxing out of the red corner wearing the sky blue shorts trimmed with claret. At the weigh-in yesterday, he scaled 13 stones, 6 pounds and 6 ounces. He has an excellent record consisting of 38 contests, 31 wins. 17 of those wins coming by way of knockout, only 6 defeats and 1 draw. Tonight he's making his second attempt to win the title, presenting the challenger from West Ham in East London, Garry. And opposing him, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the solid black shorts trimmed with white. At yesterday's weigh-in, he scaled 13 stones, 6 pounds and 2 ounces. He has an excellent record, 17 contests, 16 wins, 12 of those wins coming by way of knockout, with only the solitary 1 defeat. He's making the third proud defense of his championship, presenting the WBU's Cruiserweight Champion of the World, from Swansea, Enzo Maccarinelli. Referee Mr. Dave Paris will now give his final instructions to both boxers, 12 rounds.
Punch with the knuckle part of the glove. If one of you goes down, the other go to the third and shoots the corner. Break when I tell you to. Defend yourself at all times. Shake hands, boys. Good luck to you both.
From all recent evidence, this is no time to go and get yourself a cup of tea. Stick watching the boxing. Maccarinelli is a fast worker. It's well documented that he's never been beyond 4 rounds. In fact, only rarely beyond 2, and lately not beyond 90 seconds. What has Delaney got left after 17 months away? But he's been a pro for 12 and a half years now, Garry Delaney. He's in the light blue trunks, challenging tonight for Enzo Maccarinelli's WBU title. He's defending that one for the 3rd time. Tall, the pride of Swansea now, Maccarinelli.
how focused is Delaney going to be? He's come out trying to force the fight behind the jab, just take the fight to Maccarinelli a little bit.
Well, he's up at around 15 stone, wasn't he? When at the time he was challenging Julius Francis for the British heavyweight title a few years back. He's easily made 13-8 for this. So that suggests the preparation's been good for Delaney. But his chin will have to be very good to cope with the power of Maccarinelli. Although there are still some who whisper that Maccarinelli might have a little weakness around the whiskers himself. I don't think the case for that is proven by any means, even though he was on the deck against Bruce Scott.
Well, we'll see how much desire Delaney has when he feels the power of Maccarinelli. I think that's the key. At 33, he mightn't fancy being in a real tough fight.
There's the first attempted combination from Maccarinelli. Delaney getting his gloves up. Nice tight defence, almost peekaboo style early on from Delaney. He's giving away 10 years. Maccarinelli is the youngster with the drive and ambition, the man perceived to be on the way up.
Delaney working that jab, not all of them getting through, but he's just trying to upset the rhythm of Maccarinelli.
Good jabs back and a fast right too from the young Welshman, who's really full of confidence at this stage of his career. Only the one defeat against Lee Swaby, who stopped him in 3 rounds. Interestingly, Delaney has a points win over Swaby dating back to 1999.
Maccarinelli looking sharp when he lets the fast combinations go.
It's a good body shot and he's put Delaney down. Left hand whipped in fast into the ribcage and down goes Delaney in the first. He's already felt the force.
Well, Maccarinelli knows he can hurt him to the body.
And there's another one. Little question of how much Delaney will want it at this advanced stage of his career when he feels the power that Maccarinelli has. Shame for Delaney, he was doing okay in that round until that left hook to the body.
Yes, he was using the jab quite well, but it was a lovely shot right into the side there. Really got the timing, the leverage perfect. Just dipped down the side and got a beautiful little short hook into the body, and Delaney really felt it. Just given a split second to just get his balance right and just dig that punch in.
Tell you what, that was a class shot, wasn't it?
Very good shot. Still just 23 years of age and just that one loss to Lee Swaby.
10 wins inside 2 rounds for Maccarinelli. Will this be another one? Might be.
Seconds out, round 2.
He's from a fighting family, this Enzo Maccarinelli. Says he was fighting grown men when he was about 14 in the gym and breaking a few ribs. He says, I was a right little so-and-so. In the ring, he still is.
Well, he's definitely, with that height, he gets good leverage into his punches, which makes for power.
Quicker hands than Delaney as well. He has been beaten 6 times and stopped 4 times in his career, but that's against 31 wins as well. In fact, he was unbeaten in his first 20, Garry Delaney. Commonwealth champion briefly at light heavyweight 10 years ago.
Well, Delaney needs to get right back into it in this round, needs to establish himself.
2 fierce looking left hooks thudding in. And another one to the body. He's finding angles for these shots very well. He's working the openings, and these punches, I think, are sickening Garry Delaney.
Well, it's the speed. Delaney can't handle that quick hand speed and good variety that he's showing.
Head and body, there's another one. And that knocked more of the wind out of Delaney, and maybe some of the spirit too. He's really having to suck it up in there at the moment, is the East Ender.
The This is where Delaney has to answer the questions about desire. Now he's starting to take the punches.
Can he tough this out and maybe test the chin of Maccarinelli? At the moment, the Swansea man looks full of it, doesn't he?
He does. He's just getting a little swagger and a bounce, and he's starting to let the shots go, teeing off on Delaney.
He's becoming one of the more alluring stories in British boxing at the moment, is Maccarinelli. As long as he can keep the run going. He's certainly got a few tongues wagging around the business. Punches always have that effect. Excitement. And maybe just the feeling too that he might be a little bit vulnerable himself.
Well, a right hand went through there. That just staggered the legs a little bit.
It was the first real success for Delaney. Through that, and again, right hand lands. Maccarinelli comes back with something himself, but the older man has scored a couple of little points here in this round. He's looking a bit puffed up around the face already, Delaney, though.
He is. Maccarinelli's just been made to think himself, though. That's what Delaney needs to do. Getting through a little bit more, Delaney.
Another body punch which looked as fierce as the one that put Delaney down in the round before. This time he takes it, though, and stands there. Pride burning fiercely for Delaney. There's another one.
But you sense Maccarinelli's not the finished article defensively.
Well, Enzo Maccarinelli on the left, there's been a real body snatcher tonight. 11 landed so far to Delaney's 2.
Yes, he likes that left hook, doesn't he? And he just plays it well into the body. There, he just gives himself the leverage, dips to the side and then brings that punch in.
This cruiserweight division really coming to life with Maccarinelli. Carl Thompson with a sensational win the other night over Sebastian Rothman. Johnny Nelson, of course, the WBO champion. Mark Hobson, the British title holder. There's some good matches out there in what has often been an unfashionable division. Glenn's reign aside, of course.
Thank you, Ian. Well, Delaney's got to go for it a little bit. He's got to try and test the chin of Maccarinelli, who can be a little bit open defensively.
Just waiting his chances, Garry Delaney. He's landed a couple of right hands, but he's had to take a lot and some really painful looking blows to the body. He's already had to show a fair bit of grit, I think, don't you, Delaney, here?
Yes, he has. He's put up some stubborn resistance and taking some good shots. But he's got to keep that up.
Chance of Enzo rolling around this Cardiff ice rink, which holds nearly 4,000 right in the city centre here in Cardiff. Oh, great shot again! The left hook, he thought of going down and taking respite, then thought better of it, Delaney. But was it a smart decision? Because here comes more. This time he has to take a break from it all. It's the left hooks to the body. They're breaking him in half.
Yes, he just hasn't got a defence for that. He just can't stop it. He can't keep the elbow in the way of those shots. And Maccarinelli really hurting him.
He's got a real swagger about him, this Maccarinelli at the moment. Has to be careful he doesn't leave himself open.
Well, you can see it etched on the face of Delaney how hard this challenge is.
He's got eye damage as well, under the right eye, Delaney. But he's been down now twice in the contest. He was very nearly 3. This time a right cross, now the left to the body. Bravely shakes his head, Delaney. But this might all be too much. How many more of those can he take, Glenn?
Well, I don't think he'd take many if he gets through cleanly, Maccarinelli.
Oh, into the ribs. You can feel them from here.
Delaney has to try and let his own shots go. He's got to go full out.
He's wincing in the way I remember Dave Boy Green and John H. Stracey wincing when Carlos Palomino unloaded. Stracey in particular. Gets in an uppercut twice on the inside. Delaney bravely trying to find something by way of defiance, but it's another big round for the rampant young Welshman.
Well, it's that left hook to the body, gets it right in there again, beautifully thrown shot. And he nearly went down there. That was a tough one, but he just managed to suck it in and keep himself in there.
He thought about going down, his pride kept him up, but the second time he just had to take a break from it all. It was a good decision to do it too.
Yes, see, he needs to get out of that defensive position, because that's where Maccarinelli can just tee off on him. He's got to start throwing shots back, Delaney.
Otherwise the referee will start to take quite a close look at this. Now then, this is round 4. Remember, Maccarinelli's never had to go beyond 4. So can Garry Delaney make this the longest fight of Maccarinelli's career tonight? Maccarinelli says he's done plenty of 12-round sessions though in the gym, and is fit and ready to go that distance if he has to. He kind of resents people who might ask questions about his stamina, but of course he has to prove it in the ring sometime. That's all it means. He'll just be hoping, won't he, I think, Garry Delaney, that the storm will somehow subside.
Well, he's got to just try and old man Maccarinelli.
One to the head, 2 to the body. He does look exciting, Maccarinelli, there's no doubt about that.
No, he's very good when he's on the front foot and he's pushing out the punches. You know, he looks good, he looks exciting. It's what he's like defensively. He stands a little bit upright, Maccarinelli, and the chin can come up, and that's what Delaney's got to try and exploit.
For the first time, Delaney manages to back up Maccarinelli against the ropes. I like Maccarinelli's jab as well, and his hand speed. And he puts the punches together in combinations and with obvious force. Oh, scything attempt at an uppercut, didn't quite land.
This left hook there getting through for Delaney. He's just trying to do a little bit more.
Real bravery from Delaney here, who's shown again tonight that he's a real fighting man. Could have taken the easy way out by now under this kind of attack. But you're right, Glenn, he's trying to wade forward in this round. He's getting instructions from the corner. Jackie Bowers in there. Well, it's bravado. He keeps saying to Maccarinelli, he shakes his head as if to say that, oh, you've got the problem is he's been down a couple of times.
That's right, but will that get to Maccarinelli? Mentally, will he start to weaken?
Big right through the middle, and that one just seemed to bounce off the chin of Delaney quite remarkably. He's still there, he's still upright. I think he is going to make this the longest fight of Maccarinelli's career. Only last few seconds of this round.
It was a good uppercut from Maccarinelli as Delaney come forward.
It is going to be the longest fight of his life.
Look through the middle, okay?
Confirmation that Enzo Maccarinelli is about to enter new territory, the first 5th round of his life coming up.
There's a decent right hand from Maccarinelli, who has got decent variety. Can mix the shots up.
Absolutely dedicated to the business as well. Maccarinelli says, I'm not the partying sort, I don't go out buying new houses and flash cars. And says he's in boxing for the glory, not the money. The money might look after itself if he carries on performing the way he has been in the last few months. Good stuff from Delaney with the jab. I suppose there's just a little psychological advantage point to him to get this far, isn't there?
Yeah, there will be. And I think the longer he goes, the more he'll just start thinking he can make an impression.
And there's always that point with Maccarinelli that he's landed all his best punches, but Delaney's still in front of him. Might have been down a couple of times, but he's still there, and he's trying to just lift it a bit here, Delaney. Little change in the mood as he rocks back Maccarinelli's head with the jab. Is some of the fizz going to go out of the young Welshman, I wonder?
Well, Delaney now getting that right elbow down and taking the body shots that Maccarinelli has to offer.
Just be interesting to see here how Maccarinelli copes with the slightly longer distance as this goes on, if it does go on, of course.
But we do want to find out what he's like under a bit of pressure. You know, can he pass the test with the punches to the chin?
Nice jab from Maccarinelli.
Well, Delaney's getting the better of it in this round, just a switch.
He's just looking a tad tired for the moment, Maccarinelli. Left hook gets in from Delaney. Just a little flat patch, maybe nothing more than that from Maccarinelli. But the plot just thickening a little. Tees off, but not as snappy or accurate that time with the shots. And now he's headhunting a bit. He's given up that body attack for the moment anyway.
He's just run out of a few ideas, I think, Maccarinelli. You can just tell he's just in thought. There's a good right hand landed there.
That comes Delaney, who's had his best round to date, no doubt about it.
Well, he's managed to rough Maccarinelli up a little bit, hasn't he?
He's obviously prepared really well. Hats off to Delaney for that. He's taken a lot and he's come back with real spirit in that round, and I think he might have nicked it too.
Live rugby union for you here on Sky Sports on Sunday evening. It's Wasps against Harlequins, Sunday from 6 on Sky Sports 2. Here in Cardiff on Saturday fight night, Enzo Maccarinelli on top, but Delaney.
Yeah, but it could get interesting this. He's breathing quite heavily, I noticed, in the corner, and there's a little bit of a cut underneath the right eye. Nothing much for Maccarinelli. Delaney had a good fifth, probably won the round. It would have been his first round. Maccarinelli hasn't punched himself out, has he, Glenn?
Well, you wouldn't think so. You'd certainly hope not. You'd think he's trained harder and he's got more than this. But Delaney's certainly been lifted. His spirits have come on because I think he feels in there. Maybe he feels that the strength's gone out of Maccarinelli, or certainly the strength in his punches.
Not many people had this in the script. I think they all thought it was going to be another blast out for Maccarinelli. There was always going to come a time when he was dragged into a longer distance battle. Maybe it's tonight. Good body shot. Just picking it up again, Maccarinelli, working off the jab nicely.
Well, this is what he needs to do. He needs to get sharp again, get those punches out.
Lovely right hand and a left hook too. Shows good resistance once again, Delaney. Oh, another real ring cruncher from Maccarinelli with the left hand. Well, this is all a tribute, to me, to how well Delaney's prepared himself. He's had to take a lot.
Well, he had to take two really good ones there. Side-like punches from Maccarinelli. You get the feeling that if Maccarinelli can really lay it on now, it might just be a bit too much for Delaney to take it all again.
Crowd trying to lift Maccarinelli again. His attacks, though, not as unrelenting as they were earlier, and a bit less head movement from him, just leaving his chin in the air a little at times and getting his head rocked back. We're just in a phase of the fight where Delaney is believing he's getting just something of a little foothold, nothing more than that yet.
Well, again, he's starting to pick it up in this round, just as Maccarinelli starts to go quiet after a good start to the round for Maccarinelli.
Let him go, Delaney. You're holding. Let him go.
Good defence from Delaney, blocking the shots with a high-held guard.
And then trying to work with the free hands in the clinch.
When he goes to lean on you, take half a pace back or step to the side and bring it up through the middle, okay? Come on, come on. Have another drink.
Charlie Pearson, the main man in the corner with Enzo Maccarinelli.
On your feet.
Vito is his brother, an ex-pro himself, a welterweight in the 1980s. And they've been telling him that Delaney's all sold out, but they said to him, you're letting him back into the fight. I'm sure Delaney is all sold out, are you, at the moment?
Well, he's took an awful lot, and I think if there was a lot of punches thrown from Maccarinelli, that might just make Delaney quit. But Maccarinelli has to do that. He has to lift his pace. He's got to keep really strong on Delaney.
Maccarinelli may have to answer the stamina question tonight. I think he's getting a bit fed up with people saying to him, oh, you've never been beyond 4 rounds, so he'll have that monkey off his back anyway.
But now he gets a chance to prove what his stamina really is like.
Oh, there's the body shot again. He's done that all night. The left hook to the body. Quite free with the head on the inside there, Delaney. This is snappier from Maccarinelli at the start of the round here. Has a little bit of the belief just drained out of Maccarinelli a little bit by the very fact that he hasn't stopped Delaney.
Well, I think it has, and I think that's what they were doing in the corner. They were trying to restore that and just get his faith back and get him working harder again.
Another left to the body and down goes Delaney again. There's the answer from Maccarinelli. Mandatory 8 count, he was up at about 6, Delaney, but how much has that latest attack knocked out of him? How much more can he keep doing this? Right uppercut after another body shot. Now can Maccarinelli get the job done now and finish it?
Well, this is where he really has to go all out, Maccarinelli. Delaney is tough and proud and will want to stay in there.
But he has to stay on top of him now, doesn't he?
He
and
does.
keep on throwing the punches in.
Well, this is a test of the stamina now. Now's where we've got to see what he's got at this stage.
Oh, there's your answer, Glenn. It's another left hand to the body. Down for the 4th time. How many more of these can he take and keep on getting up? He gets up again. It's an amazing show, this, of resilience and pride from Garry Delaney. And if this is his last big chance, I'll tell you something, he's going out on his shield.
Well, he certainly is. You've got to give him credit for that. Grits his teeth and comes back at Maccarinelli.
Great body shots from Maccarinelli. Every time Delaney's been down, it's been from that left hook to the body. And he gets through another out of it, Delaney. Don't ask me how. What determination, what bravery, what courage from Garry Delaney.
Yeah, just as that elbow moves, Maccarinelli sees the gap and slots that left hook in. He does this so well, really. Obviously trains very hard at that punch. To the head and then switches it downstairs to the body. Shakes the head and just tumbles over
2 knockdowns in the round. That's a 10-7 round, isn't it, Glenn?
Yep, 10-7. Really on top in that round. It looked as if Delaney was about to quit there.
This is round 8. In all the confusion, you could kind of forget how many knockdowns there had been. It's 4 at the moment.
The uppercut was a good one from Maccarinelli. Tried to come back with an F2 to the head, but just didn't quite get through.
Well, he'd gone through a flat patch, Maccarinelli, but how he came back in the 7th.
Well, he looks as if he's going to give a last-ditch effort, Delaney.
Oh, he's teeing up on him now. Almost like target practice for a moment there. So eager. This is a young man who's grown up with boxing. Look at these combinations, uppercuts, hooks. Delaney gives a rueful look to Roy Hilder and the boys in the corner.
Well, he got through a couple of times there, Delaney, as he just made a charge forward.
He's leading with the head a bit as he does it, but he'll take any advantage he can get. And look at this, he's marauding forward. Here again, Delaney, this man whose career has never quite hit the heights that some people might have imagined. Maybe he's just disappointed himself a bit here and there along the way. But my goodness me, he is winning the respect and admiration of everybody with his grit here tonight. Rights again, and he has to go down. He has to go down. Another body time shot this time. Not the left this time, but the right. Are you okay, says Dave Paris. Delaney, they'll have to nail him to the canvas, I reckon. He's not going to quit on his own, is he, Glenn?
He's not. Maccarinelli has to go for it now.
Down for the 6th time. He doesn't even want the mandatory 8 count, Delaney. I think this is one of the bravest performances we've seen in a British ring in recent years.
Well,
I really do.
It's real true grit, isn't it, from Delaney? He just doesn't know when he's beaten. Up he gets again.
Talk about, it's number 7. He says, I didn't go down. He says it's a low blow. It's a low blow, he's saying, and Dave Paris is ruled it as such. So leave that at 6 knockdowns. No count administered that time. Though he did touch down with the glove, it was a low blow. Maccarinelli tries to catch him with a counter on the way in. He's in danger of being hit by a big counter shot and walking onto one. Down he goes again. It can't go on anymore. He's given it everything. It's time for the corner to pull him out, surely. But they don't want to do that. No, he stopped it, Dave Paris, and I'm glad he did. Because no man should have had to go on in those circumstances. It was an incredible, brave effort, that, from Garry Delaney.
And didn't Delaney make it a good fight? With that effort, with that bravery, keep coming back. Everybody's on their feet. He made it so entertaining. It really was bravery.
Enzo Maccarinelli's the first to congratulate him on that grit. But well done too to Enzo. He's done it in the 8th round against a man who just came in there with the attitude of refusing to be beaten. Listen to the round of applause ringing around this arena tonight. There were 7 knockdowns and a touchdown from a low blow. We think we might have to go back and check. It was a lot anyway, and in the end Dave Paris called a halt to it all. Should the corner have stopped it themselves, do you think?
Well, he kept getting up, he kept trying. I think the corner were about to stop it had Dave Paris let it go on. The right hand this time, it'd been all left hooks to the body, but at the end it was the right hands that started to hurt as well.
The resistance was finally broken, but he even got up from that. He was stopped on his feet, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He kept getting up. Some good shots, but Enzo Maccarinelli, you've got to say well done to him for that performance. He kept at it. He showed maturity. He kept at the job every time Delaney got up. A lot of people mightn't have done that.
He did have a couple of rounds in there where we just wondered whether he'd lost the fizz, lost the spark, and was running out of ideas, but how he came back, and you've got to say in the end, that was impressive.
It was very good. He needed to answer these questions, and he did that.
So it's already now then, isn't it? Enzo Maccarinelli against Johnny Nelson. Natural fight.
Why not?
I'm sure Frank Warren's going to do the deal in the next few days. Well, maybe in the next few years. It's a thought though, isn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes and 37 seconds of round number 8, referee Dave Paris has stopped the action. In his opinion, Garry Delaney was in no position to continue. Your winner, and he is still the WBU's Cruiserweight Champion of the World, from Swansea, Enzo Maccarinelli. And ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation, please, for a young man who epitomises everything what is good about this sport, Garry Delaney. From the World Boxing Union, Reg Thompson has presented the championship belt to Enzo Maccarinelli.
Tremendous sportsmanship in there. Like Maccarinelli, Joe Calzaghe has a magnificent record for early finishes. In Calzaghe's case, 19 inside the first 2 rounds so far in his career, but perhaps in what we've seen outside in the hall tonight, a little warning for Calzaghe as he completes preparations for his world title defence against Maccarinelli. Coming right up. But they're still taking in the courage, pride, determination of Garry Delaney here, and rightly on this occasion our loser will share the platform with the winner. Here's Adam Smith with both.
What a spectacle, phenomenal stuff. Enzo, firstly you knocked him down some 7 times with body shots. Did you think you were going to get the job done much earlier?
No, to be honest, I don't think people give Garry as much credit as he deserves. He come there tonight and fired up, very strong, and like he said here at the press conference, it was his last hurrah, and he gave it a hell of a shot. What a tough man.
Down in the first, down in the third. How did you pick yourself up at the beginning of the fight?
I just, it was a body shot that knocked the wind out of myself, really. I mean, he's young, he's fired up, he's a good fighter, and I just thought, maybe there was a chance that I could get him after the 4th, 5th round, but he just, the punches were starting to hurt. I mean, I'm 33 years old now. I want some normality in my life. I want to be able to go down a pub on a Friday and have a Chinese, you know what I mean? Not have to worry about getting up in the morning and go running. This is getting too hard. The fighters are getting younger, I'm getting older, So, what can I say?
You went for a bit of a flat patch middle time, but then you got back, and it was the body shots with the right hand at the end.
Yeah, it was changed tactics. He seemed to be sussing the left out of the body out. So
you were showing the left, but then screwing. That's what you was doing. You showed me the left.
I'm trying to learn something new all the time.
Was that his bravest performance ever, and one of the bravest you've ever seen?
Well, of course, he took some tremendous shots. I do it that.
Listen, man, it's a world title. You got to grab it with both hands. You know what I mean? You got to climb off the floor to beat these guys. If you want to be a champion, these are the guys you got to beat. And I tried, but I just want to apologise to everyone at the Peacock in East London, Martin and Tony Bowers. I'm sorry. Enzo Maccarinelli, you move on. Let's quickly bring Frank Warren in. Big plans for him this year?
Yeah, keep him busy. It was a great performance, and I've got to take my hat off to Garry. Showed tremendous heart and courage there. Great guy. He's done his thing now, retired. But what will happen now with Enzo is that we're going to keep him busy, and there's some good fights out there for him to look at. And I will think in the next week or so we'll announce a big one for him.
Garry Delaney, thank you for your bravery. Enzo, well done.
Hopefully he'll give me another shot.
Garry Delaney, a one-time sparring partner of Steve Collins, who's with us tonight. He emerges with so much credit, Steve, doesn't he? But what does he help us demonstrate? What have we learned about Maccarinelli against Delaney tonight?
First of all, Garry Delaney owes no apologies to anybody for his performance tonight. If anything, he gave us a great performance of pure heart and grit. What he shows, he didn't show any faults in Maccarinelli, because Maccarinelli, a couple of times he came back in the middle of the fight, Garry did, and showed Maccarinelli to kind of go into a bit of a lull. But Maccarinelli dug down deep again and got fired up again and finished Garry off with them sickening body shots.
The experts all said, Jim, the one thing Delaney had to do was stay out of his way early on. That didn't go to plan, did it?
It's the opposite, but the fight game never ceased to surprise us. But I mean,
At least 5 of those knockdowns I wasn't expecting Garry Delaney to get back up again. They were bang on the button, right onto the ribs, which you can't strengthen up. Look at that one there, that wasn't the stomach, that was the short rib. Can't tough in that area. From that point on you're thinking it's just a matter of time. But who would have thought he would still have been there for so many rounds. Tremendous performance.
Let's have a word from the master exponent of the art of body punching a few years ago.
Yeah, what is so remarkable is he's such a big man. He's 6'4", and he gets down that left hand side. It's his left hand side that really is his lethal side. Left hooks to the body, left hooks to the head. He throws the right hand very well, as we'll see later on in the slow-mos. But I mean, he was told off by the corner. Dean Powell done a great job. He said, look, get your act together. That right hook was round the side there. That shows he's got a lethal right hand side too. But that left hook and that left hand side, it really is a world-class puncher. Garry tried very hard, and I agree with Stevie. He was so gritty and so determined, but he simply wasn't quick enough to be able to exploit the weaknesses in Enzo Maccarinelli's defences. But that's something he's got to work on. He still stands up tall, he still sort of snaps out of concentration, loses concentration sometimes, little lapses in concentration, but when you can punch that hard, you can end the fight at any time.
Thank you, Barry. World title action coming soon here in Cardiff, and coming shortly to Sky Sports, 2 more of the very best in the world.